Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday catch-up show. Here we are with you on the 20th of October 2023 after a really very busy week, mainly because of this trio over here. Like we always say, it's one of those things, the modelling world seems to be that thing of like feast or famine. You know, been in the doldrums, so I had no real kit releases, nothing to get excited about. And then all of a sudden, as I say, Magic Factory sent me these kits, the review samples. So those ones dropped literally on Friday at about 5:30. And it was like, okay, wasn't even expecting them. So we thought we could do those. And then this little lump, lots have been spoken about it. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get one. We'll bite the bullet. We'll buy one, get one in and have a proper look at it. So anyway, we'll talk about those ones later. Not to mention cracking on with all of this lot, getting all your orders out and all the other bits and pieces. So a very, very busy week indeed. But all started on Monday. I said before, these got sent to me. They're actually review samples. And there was a couple of questions came up about it, which I've tried to answer as best as I can. First of all is that it's what we call a dual combo set. So you actually get two full kits in here, all right? So when I was going through it and showing them, I didn't show the common things like the wings. So there was a little bit of confusion about, do you get two lots of wings, as in four? Because as we know, with this particular kit, the wing section, you have it as a whole, you know, wings actually down and locked, or you can have them folded. You get two lots of folded, you get two lots of down and wing locked. So yes, you can. The only thing you can't do with it, you can't make, if you wanted to, the sort of bubble top one, or you can do the actual the Mark sort of two back here as well, purely because the canopies are different and you only get one lot of the canopy. So you get one bubble one and one with a birdcage canopy into it. But generally though, it's a really, really nice kit. So we first heard about this one a little while ago. The instructions are really nice. Tamiya call-outs on this one, although as we'll learn about in a moment, that's not standard. They tend to use everybody's for call-outs. But as you can see, really nice, good, clear instructions for the construction. I've just invented a new word. But as you can see, some nice details as well. Fully detailed gun bays with guns and the actual ammunition in the trays themselves. So that's really nice. And it's nicely detailed. A nice loaded wing spar system. So you've got a wing spar system which takes the weight of when it's folded. So not like the Tamiya one where you've got to glue it and hold it and make, you know, super glue it, then get some proper glue into it. This thing is absolutely rock solid. So that's a really nice touch with that one as well. And again, you get both. So you can do it with wings folded, or you could have it wings down as well. So you get two lots of these. So both of them you could do either with. So if you wanted to do both of them in a little diorama with them both folded up or both wings down, you can do that, all right? So really nice details in the wheel wells and all the bits and pieces, and it builds up to be a very nice model indeed. And some nice markings for them, some good options down in here. You can see this is the birdcage one, and then over here we've actually got, sorry, that was the birdcage one here. The other one's bubble top, you can see. So really nice, clear, concise. Decals, very nicely done as well. Instrument panels and decals as well, so you can see not bad at all. Nice touch with this kit as well. Photo etch harnesses and a couple of other little bits as well, which is really nice for both of them. And then obviously you've got two mast sets, one for the bubble canopy, one for the birdcage canopy as well. So again, full mast sets with these ones. But you can see down here in the plastic, it's really very, very nice. The way I describe it is the Tamiya one was always the one. You know, if you wanted a 48 Corsair, you go for the Tamiya one. And you can pick it up for, we've got it up on the PM site at the moment for about 17 quid. Although I think they've all sold out now, but we did have them up there. So it's not going to break the bank. But again, this one is just that sort of, the only way I can describe it is it looks like Edard have done it, because it's got all the nice details. So you've got very, very fine panel line detail. You've got nice rivets right the way over it. And generally though, it just is very, very nice making the way right the way through. So as you can see, it's got some very, very nice touches. The engine is beautifully detailed as well. So what you've ended up with is actually a very, very nice bang up to date Corsair. And again, little things like we've got the cowl flaps open or closed, bits and pieces down in there. The only thing you will have to worry about, or just keep an eye on I should say, is that when you're making your way, if you're doing your different versions, make sure you get the right parts for it, because there's little things like the rudder pedals and this little bulkhead here is different between the both types. So just make sure you get the right one for the right model, all right, because it is a little bit confusing down in there. But generally, as you can see, you've got instrument panel, or you've got it as a blank, so you can do it with the bezels, or you can just put the decal straight onto it. Again, nice little touches with this one. Clear parts are gorgeous and very, very clear indeed. So all in all, I have to say, I think, and until I put it together, I can't say definitively, but at the moment, I think that's the best detail from what I can see And the little, just the way it builds and goes together looks really nice. If it goes together half as good as it looks, it's going to be a fantastic kit. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's 60 quid, it's a lot of money. But don't forget, you get them two. So I know obviously the Flory family, we did it a little bit cheaper for the membership. So you can get quite a good discount on that one. So it worked out roughly around about 26 quid a model, all right? But if you're paying full whack, you're only paying like 30 quid for each one, which actually in this day and age, I don't think it's too bad at all. But anyway, if you want to get up with that one, you can see this one. It's up on the actual site right now. Obviously, it's on social media. But if you do want to have a look at, obviously, the high-res images with the instructions and things and have a peruse at the kit, you can do. Obviously, just pop over to the Flory model site, pop over to reviews, just click up here, and you'll be taken into all the latest reviews, or you can actually find them via their manufacturer as well. All right, so there's that one. On Tuesday, we had our live show. So it's me and Matt, and that is all the sprues from another review I was working on. It's a bit clickbaity, I know, but so there's that one down in there at all. So it's me and Matt's podcast show, usual thing, answering your questions, talking with you. We are live, obviously, on YouTube. Obviously, we're live onto the Flory members chat room and answering questions and things like that. And we're doing a little bit of building as well. Matt was adding PVA glue, who was doing some grouting, as I was calling it. As you can see down in here, working on his diorama base. I was cracking on a little bit as well with the Helldiver and going through the motions of that. As you can see right the way through. So if you want to join us on a sort of Tuesday afternoon, 3 o'clock, it's live. You can talk to us. You can ask us any questions at all. You don't have to send us even a penny or buy us a coffee. It's none of that. Just tune in, relax, and have a little bit of a thing. Don't forget, with all our videos, you can watch them again. They're up on social media, or just pop along and say to the Flory model site, pop into the actual the vlog area, and it's got all of these, and you can watch these at any point in the future. All right, so that's what we was talking about down on that show. Same time as well, we had the next review as well up, so I call it the MRAS. I don't know if that's the proper name, D4. It's like a Polaris on steroids. So really very nice bit of kit on this one again. Something a little bit different. Obviously, it's a sort of light utility vehicle these days, all terrain and everything. But again, really nice details all the way through. Again, it's funny how Magic Factory have hit the ground running because very much like Armour Hobbies and that, you know, they haven't come out with a bad kit yet. And it's amazing because hit the ground and just bring out the quality straightforward is really, really nice. And as I say, some very nice details down in here. It is a dual combo again, so you can actually do one fully equipped like here, and you can get the trailer for it, or you can do this one down in here, which is an anti-drone unit. It's got a sort of generator on the back and electronics bay and things like that. Or if you wanted to, you could do a common one and do two just like this, which is what was at the trade shows and things. So again, some nice. You also get some nice weapon sets with it as well. So generally, very nice. Photo etch, you can see it's fully working independent suspension. So we've got springs for it. We've got the decals. And generally, the quality is absolutely beautiful. There's hardly any burring on the sprues, which is nice as well for roll cages and things. And as you can see, generally, it's just a very nice kit. And again, you can buy the weapon sets as standalone. They cost a fortune. So if you do want to save a bit of money there, the only thing you don't get with it is the crew. But as I now have learned afterwards, because it became available after I did the review, is that there actually is a crew set which you can buy as separate. So you actually get 4. You get the 2 guys over here for it, sitting in the anti-drone unit. And then down in here, you've got a driver and a gunner on the roof. So you do get 4 figures for this one, which are resin ones. They are a little bit expensive, but actually I think they're really, really nice jobs on that one. Look to be very, very good quality. So anyway, if you do fancy one of those are out and available now as you make your way through. Wednesday, PM show. So obviously back to the PM show for me and the boys and all the rest of it. All what's going on and what's new and going on in the PM world. So obviously the latest releases, things we're all talking about, things we're getting excited about, the pre-orders we've got obviously up for the membership and the discount prices they'll be getting, as well as obviously all the news and gossip that's been going on in the modelling world over that one. So if you want to catch up with me, Andy and Matt, you can go off and see that one. That is free to watch and it is available pretty much everywhere down in there. At the same time, I tried something which I've never done before in 21 years of doing this job now. I've never done a clickbait title, but this time I did it because I actually called this review up here Trumpeter's best kit ever. We just didn't realise it. Now there's a reason for this, is because I did this review here before I did the show where I was talking to Matt. And the boys on this one, because I actually did the full review of this on Tuesday. Me and Matt and the guys didn't record this till Wednesday. Anyway, we go right the way through it and have a look. And to be honest with you, it has caused a little bit of a stir, shall we say, in the community, purely because, one, it's incredibly expensive. You know, when you're talking £160 a kit, you know, it's got to be good for that type of money. I totally agree with that. And to be honest with you, I am not a rivet counter. I know a lot of you guys out there think I am a rivet counter, but honestly, I am probably the farthest from it you could ever imagine. I like to take the mick a lot of the time, but honestly, I'm not a rivet counter. And to me, it looks like an F-35. I am no way qualified in them whatsoever, and I've only seen limited things on them at air shows as like the rest of us. So anyway, looking around at the kit, it looks pretty good to me all the way through. But there was some glaring things missing. So the thing with that one is things like a boarding ladder area. It's a naval aircraft. It's quite important to have one of those. And there was various other things missing, like ASRAAM missiles for the RAF version and various bits and pieces all the way through, which I thought let the kit down. But what this kit does make up with is riveting. Why would you rivet it? The ram tape system on this one, I don't know why everybody has it in their head. And I don't want to speak out of turn because, again, I don't know fully, but I have spoken to guys who work on these aircraft day to day and have done for a long time, and they've talked to me about ram tape and what it does and what it's for, and so forth and so on. And as far as I'm concerned, Trumpeter have just completely overdone it, like everybody else completely overdoes it for whatever reason it's necessary they've done. But in the meantime, they have riveted it as well. And if anybody's ever seen these aircraft, you'll know not only does it not have ram tape this thickness all over it, it doesn't have rivets and panel lines, because there's a thing called stealth, and it's quite important that you don't have those because of it. All right. But anyway, Trumpeter in their infinite wisdom decided to do it. And obviously there's no boarding ladder, so that got out my nose. But obviously all the wings are riveted and everything else. And it's like, yeah, and from that point, the kit to me was going down. And then I found this coming along because, lo and behold, Trumpeter have tried a new technique for getting things out of the injection molding system. So instead of having round ejector pins, and let's face it, that are horrible, like this one over here, all right, they've decided that actually if they use big squares, they can push it out and not make as much damage. Unfortunately, they do, and they're horrible, and that's even worse, I think, than having an ejector pin. If that was a small ejector pin, round one in the middle, I could sand and fill that. But when it's this close up to the edges of all this riveting detail down in here, I'm not going to be able to do it. So again, it's just one of those. And there's more riveting, and yeah, I'm probably going to get a bit over the top with it now. But for the money you're paying and the quality, I'm not a massive fan of it. But our point was that, and obviously we went through it with the guys and all the rest of it, if you was to do it as one on a production line in that gorgeous green colour and everything else like that, it would actually work, because it has got rivets all over it. It has got very, very strong round tape areas, because you can see them, because it hasn't got the coating over it yet. So all of these areas stand out and are quite obvious. So my point to it was, is it the best kit ever? We just didn't know it. Is that if you're actually doing this one coming off a production line before it's had its secret coating over it, like the KFC, all right, actually, it's not a bad kit. You could get away with it looking really nice. And to be honest, we were talking to the guys on the Wednesday show, and that's the snippet that's on the end of the review. The review ends, then I pop up a little cryptic message, and then you get another 5 minutes of us saying how accurate that kit is if you was to do it on a production line before it's had the coating and the paint and all the rest of it. So in some ways, that's why it was the perfect kit. And I know it caused a little bit of thing, and I apologise, and I will never do a clickbaity title again, because it's the first time I've ever done it, and I wouldn't do it again. But also, I have to say, massive, massive thank you to the entire modelling community for not jumping on me for it, because I don't do it. Everyone knows I don't do it, and I just thought it was a little bit of fun. So that's why at the back of the review, when it ends, keep watching, because there's another 5 minutes of us going through the details of why that kit's perfect, as long as it hasn't got any coat on it, if there's no paint or anything on it yet. So that's why it's a little bit clickbaity on that one. So again, that's it. But to be honest with you, after I spoke to the guys with it, and after speaking to a few of you guys onto it, have worked on them as well, we've all come to the conclusion that yes, it's actually a horrible kit. It's not very accurate, and it's misshaped, and it's got things, and even the Union Jack's up the wrong way, which if you're in Britain and you put the Union Jack and fly it upside down, actually it's a bit like doing the old fingers at you. Or one finger, definitely. So yes, it's been like being Flick the Bird. So no one can work out on our side if this Trumpeter, subliminal sort of, thing to us, or they just generally are stupid. So anyway, that's a little bit of thing with that one. So anyway, if you're in Britain, that gnarled everybody completely up with it. But I'm going to build this, and I'm going to do it on a production line. I'm going to do it with all the green and everything else. I'm going to put a nice dark wash over it, so all the panel lines and the riveting all shows up like a barn door, because that's what it looks like. And actually, I think it will be fine, and it will make a really, really impressive little diorama. I plan to do some little trestles around it, as if it's coming literally off the production line. before they go into paint and have the special coating. So actually I think it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll look very, very impressive. But I know a lot of you have said to me the nose is wrong and this is wrong, but I think just as an overall and as a project or something looking a little bit nice, it's pretty good. But if you do want this one to be finished off and going with it and all the rest of it, honestly, I think we're still waiting for a perfect or a near to perfect F-35. Are we going to get one though? I don't know. Honestly, I think this may be a little bit like the Trumpeter Lightnings, a bit like their Tomcats in some case and things like that. They're not brilliant. They're not even close. But actually, they're a lot less hassle in doing other versions of it. And in a lot of cases, it is the only one. So this is the only F-35 being 132nd at the moment. Unless we can see Italy bringing out another version, which I don't think we will, or somebody else tackling it, which to be honest, I don't think we will, then we are going to be stuck with that one for quite a while. So it may be one of those ones where we all have to just bite the bullet and say, do you know what? It's close enough. Unless you want to do major surgery on it and all the rest of it and spend a few months of your life doing a rivet counter job on it. And if you do, brilliant. Help yourself to it. But definitely not for me. So anyway, watch out for this one in the future, and actually I'm going to build this one as well. So we've got these two. We'll be going into full video builds in the near future as well, so just keep an eye out for those ones as we make our way through with that. Next up, we had obviously the live show last night. This was the members one. So the member show, slightly different to our normal shows we do, because one, we're a little bit more closer to the mark, shall we say. We're a little bit more opinionated, or definitely Matt will be in about 4 weeks' time. So anyway, we're doing some building as well, so we're all actually building and chatting. As I say, it's totally informal, answering your questions. Admittedly, I did forget until 9 o'clock last night, so that's why we ran over a bit, but yeah, generally that's what it's all about. So if you want to join us for that one, you do have to be a member obviously, but obviously membership is just the price of a coffee these days for a month. So if you want to come over and see what we get up to and stuff like that, you can just sign us up, shoot us a message, just say you want to join, and I'll send you all the information and the links as always on that particular one. All right, last up gets us bang up to date. We're up with part 5 of the Viking, and yes, we have turned definitely a bit of a corner on this one. So we've actually moved it on and we've got it into the primer stage. But before that, we had to go through, you might remember I painted the canopy and it went horrendously wrong because it was metallic, because somebody forgot to clean out his airbrush. Yeah. So anyway, I sanded it all off and then we had to repolish all the clear parts, which took 4 days. And then we went back in and did it again. So as you can see, this is the smoked one that comes with it. This is the clear one that I did. So we used a little bit of AK's smoke. And you see, once it's on, actually, I think it's all right. It's going to be absolutely fine. So anyway, we got that masked up, got it into position, had to do a little bit of filler work all around the edges, as it wasn't as good as a fit as I remember it being. But obviously with that one all in, we could turn our attentions onto the engines and do the engine nacelles. And yeah, you guessed it, they don't fit at all. So what we had to do is remove all the locating tabs and everything in there and actually make it ourselves. And we had to slightly shrink the diameter of the discs for the fans because they're just too big and it won't close. All right, so with that done, as you can see down in there, then they managed to close up, and they closed up absolutely fine, no problem at all. Then it was a case of obviously doing a little bit of black basing work around the canopy. So obviously all the inside of the canopy rails and everything are black, and we could use it for seam checking. And then, yeah, lo and behold, we found some problems. So we've gone back in there with a little bit of watered down filler, let that dried, and then carry on with it. Then we can get over into the actual spray booth. So this is 3rd gen acrylic primer in the very light grey, and we've just given it a generous coat of that right the way over, right the way through, which gets us to something like this. And here she is. So technically she is all done, dried up over yesterday. I am going to come back in because, to be honest, I've got a little bits down in here I'm still not happy with. There's a little something going on in here. It looks like it's had a smack and it's got some swelling. So I need to do something with this. I think we just need to sand that and blend that in a little bit more. But generally though, it's actually come out very, very nicely. Everything's now in. The bays are all in. We've definitely turned a corner with it. That's done. The wings are all done. The engines, as I say, we've got the engines and the nacelles and everything. These are all done now. They're all set and all ready to go. So that's all looking good. So yeah, so we can push along with this one now. So members, you can go off now and see part 5 on this one. Next week, it's really going to push on because obviously we can get some paint onto it. Then we can mask up these areas. So what, and then because they're nice and square, so it's going to be easier to do those afterwards. Get these painted up and detailed and all the rest of it. We can get some decals onto it, seal it down, and then we can go through the motions of doing all the weathering before we add all the lumps and bumps and the delicate bits to it. But there we go. So this is the old Esky, which is now the Italy Viking that we're working on down in here. And obviously it's got a ton of black dog into it. So we've got bays, 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 wing folds, you name it, it's got it all the way over it as well. So if you want to catch up with that one, you can do. Don't forget, you can just pop literally over onto the site if you want to see anything about it, and then just pop over to the Viking area. So literally come up to video builds, click in here. As with all our video builds, they are like, you know, for members only to watch, but if you're not a member, you can still see them as a photo build right the way down in here, and you can come on any of these down in here, click on the thing, and you'll get the full scale, full detailed image of that one, which will help you through. And I've got a little bit of text on there as well to go through. Members, if you do, just click on these, you'll be taken away over to the player, and you can actually watch the video. So yes, very, very nice indeed. Last up is obviously just for this guy we were working on as well. So we worked on this one on the live show last night. So on here we've actually got the dive brakes installed, which are photo etched, which are absolutely beautiful fit. They go in absolutely smooth. It's gorgeous on this one. We had a little bit of split seams, so we had a seam up here that we dealt with, and we had another one under here that we dealt with. So with all of that done, this technically is almost up for primer as well, so that's moving along very nicely. And we finished off doing all the masking, thanks to Matt, because he sent me a mask set for it, so that just saved me about 8 years of my life. So we got it all masked up and it's all ready to go. So hopefully by next week I'll be into a position where obviously this one's into primer for us, and we can think about getting this into paint. This little lump will be going into paint as well. So we'll be moving off the bench into the spray booth and doing lots of work with that one as always. So yeah, a really, really good productive week. Got 2 on the go at the moment. As I say, I'll be starting a 3rd project maybe next week, maybe the week after, as we make our way through. I did say I was going to do the Hasegawa Showtime 100 Phantom review of that classic old kit. As you might imagine, this week I've literally just run out of time, but it will be up with you on Monday. And I've got a couple of aftermarket bits which I'll talk you through with it as well, because obviously use that for the turkey shoot, which will be about this time next month. The turkey shoot is obviously Flory Models members, and obviously the team. We just build non-stop something for an entire weekend. Obviously it runs from Thursday right the way to Sunday night. Lots of live shows, especially over the weekend and everything. So if you want to join us for that particular one, it'd be great. All you got to do is pick a kit, pick something you can build in a couple of days, or a nice weekend build. Join in with us. Obviously, we'll keep your photos updated, showing everybody your great work, and you can join in with the builds as well with that one. And obviously, it'll stream live over YouTube and social media with that as well. So that will be a lot of fun. So that will be our next big live show. I think it's about the 24th of November as well for that particular weekend. So yes, that will be a good one as well. Last up, we just got to pop over to our sponsor, who's never paid a penny. Just saying. So over to PM Models, new arrivals. I said it's literally not a lot really going on. Obviously, we've got the Ferret is in, the Scout Car, which looks absolutely mega. Seen that one built up, looks fantastic. Obviously, that new Edard, which came in last week. These ones are in as well now. So obviously, it's all the ones with the car right the way through, and a couple of others. Unfortunately, Lightnings keep selling out just as fast as we get them in. We've got the Nash Horn down there as well. We've had full restocks, you might have heard, obviously, on the Tuesday, Thursday, and probably Wednesday show, of all primers, fillers, clear coats. All those have been restocked as well. Big restock from AK in this week, all the way through. Special offer has been slightly updated, but really it's just in. So now we've got obviously the gorgeous Tamiya. Again, such a good kit, such a classic kit down in there. And say, I've built the Tempest. That's a beautiful kit as well. And I've built the Hellcat as well recently. So both of these ones are the ones that I've done. And again, a few other golden goodies down in there, including the classic Seafire, which I built. One of the first ever video builds we did as a freebie as well. So that one is up there now. Plus the fact we've got the Buccaneer and things. Hopefully you might see the other version of the Buccaneer by December, which would be very nice indeed. But anyway, if you do want to grab any of these ones, remember, once they're gone, they're gone. So if you do see something, go ahead and grab it right now. And at the same time, don't forget you get all your paints, your glues, all your sundries, all your bits and pieces, and everything else just down in here as well. So just click on. So just pop over to pmmodelsuk.com and we can help you out there. And remember, if you can't see it on the site, don't worry about it. Just shoot us a message using the contact me on the PM Models site, and I'm sure Andy can dig it out for you. We can get it ordered in and done. We got orders come in every single day, so we can tag it in and then get it and then add it to something else you want as well. So always happy to help along there. And that is about it for this week. So good week next week. We'll be in the spray booth, and to be honest, that's my happy place because I love all of that, doing painting and weathering. So we're really getting on with that one. In the meantime, though, I'm going to leave you with your great work as always on a Friday. So in the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
Wasted. My heart grows heavy